Recently I did an interview, and the interview was, what do you think were the contributing factors to your moral failure? And I was speaking recently and kind of went through some of them, and I thought it would be a good vlog for many of you unfaithful, because you can probably relate to these and maybe even share a few things that I don't cover. If you're a betrayed, you certainly can probably have identified these mannerisms or belief systems or mindsets that led to your spouse's affair. And so here's some thoughts on how to ensure moral bankruptcy or moral devastation for your marriage. Number one, it's a little bit tricky. If you're a Christian, then you'll relate to the fact that for me, one of the ways that I can guarantee moral failure very soon is to only read the Bible to get a message, or only read the Bible to get a devotion, or just read the Bible to get something out of it that you have to go preach or talk about or share. Don't read it for devotion, and don't read it for intimacy, and don't read it for personal growth, and don't read it for duty, and don't read it to have your life be challenged by it. If you're not a Christian, that same point is, if you go to counseling or if you go to therapy, only go to figure out what's wrong with your spouse. Only go to worry about why everybody else around you is so messed up. Don't go for personal reflection, and don't go to try and help yourself. Number two, if you want to ensure moral failure or moral devastation for your life, is continue to justify your actions to yourself first and then to everybody else around you. I mean, for me, I justified my actions millions of times. I justified my infidelity based upon Samantha's rejection, lack of sexual intimacy, lack of affection, lack of affirmation of my success outside the home. I mean, I could go on and on. But if you want to ensure moral devastation, justify your actions to yourself first and then to everyone else around you. Number three is, I lived a life of real isolation and refused to be vulnerable or accountable on a real intimate level. And if you want to ensure eventual moral devastation, man, just isolate yourself and refuse to be vulnerable with your private circle. Now, I know the comeback is, well, you can't be vulnerable with everybody. Absolutely. You have to find someone safe. But if you want to ensure disaster is coming your way morally, isolate yourself. Be selectively vulnerable. Be selectively open with people. And don't let yourself be absolutely vulnerable and absolutely open with the committed circle in your life. You see, for me, no one could get to me. I had built this hedge, this wall around me. Now, the wall around me thought that I was genuinely vulnerable. And I was selectively vulnerable about stuff in the ministry or stuff in my marriage, but I was in no way transparent about my struggles with infidelity or my affair partner or my frustrations, which in my mind, my frustrations justified my affair. And that type of protective justification, if you will, is a disaster waiting to happen. The next one is, continue to believe that you're never going to get caught. It's amazing to me, looking back, that my affair partner and I never talked about if or when we would get caught. We just never thought we would. We had believed that we had an ironclad wall which would protect us from ever getting found out, and so I never had a plan. I never thought I would need a plan. And that mindset, not the mindset of, well, you should have had a plan. No, the mindset that said, I'll never get caught, God loves me too much to expose me. I'm in a safe way of living, and this is the best it's going to be, so I won't get caught and the truth won't come out. I was deceived in so many ways, as you can absorb from this mindset that I'm sharing with you. You see, I empowered the affair because I thought I would never get caught. I thought there was no turning back, but I thought, man, I'll just live this way. This is the way it's going to be. And I never thought that I would have to be accountable for my actions, which made me a wrecking ball that I thought was invincible. Another belief system that I think really ensured disaster is I had believed that if I had come clean to a couple of different people, that they would have absolutely rejected me and disowned me. Now the trick to that is, when everything came out, 99.9% of the people that found out absolutely disowned me, but it's an unfair assessment of them because who knows what would have happened if I had come clean on my own. But I had believed the lie that if so-and-so knew what was really going on, they would abandon me and they would leave me, when in reality, I was convinced more so that, man, I can't lose all of this. I can't and don't want to lose. You see, I knew that there was a way out of my affair. I did, and most unfaithful will tell you that they know that there is a way out. They just don't like the way out that they see. That way out is coming clean, suffering consequences, embracing pain, and owning what they've done. Finally, and I've kind of saved, I think, the most hard-hitting for me for last, keep running. For me, I was convinced. Man, I was doing the Lord's work. I was busy. I was running. I was running from my past. I was running from childhood hurts. I was running from accountability. I was running from Samantha. To a certain extent, I was running from the affair partner even, because I just was trying to stay busy so I didn't have to process what was happening. And I now look back and see that that was retreating from getting healthy. That was retreating from proper mental health. That was running from the very fight that was in front of me. And that fight was what the doorway was to my future, but I ran from it.